There's a silence that doesn't soothe. It echoes. And in that echo, a fear grows. We live in a world where connection is easier than ever, yet many feel more isolated than at any point in human history. Why? Because loneliness isn't about physical absence. It's a psychological disconnection. It's the moment when you're surrounded by people, yet feel unseen. What happens when the noise fades? When the phone stops buzzing? When night falls and there's no one left to talk to? That's when the fear creeps in, the fear of being alone. But what is this fear truly, and why does it hold such power over so many of us? This video isn't just about psychology, it's about humanity. It's about you, me, and the ancient fear we've inherited through centuries of evolution, heartbreak, and survival. Join us as we unravel the shadow of loneliness, not to escape it, but to understand it. Long before cities, phones, or social media, our ancestors huddled together in caves. Being alone wasn't just sad, it was deadly. Isolation meant vulnerability. Wolves, hunger, cold, they were the consequences of solitude. Our brains evolved to fear social rejection. Neuroscience shows that the brain processes emotional pain, like being excluded, in the same way it processes physical pain. The social pain theory explains why heartbreak hurts like a wound. We are wired to belong. That wiring doesn't switch off in the modern world, even when we're in apartments instead of forests. This primal blueprint still drives much of our behavior. It fuels our need for approval, our fear of rejection, and our instinct to cling to relationships, even toxic ones. I'd rather be with the wrong person than be alone. Sound familiar? It's not weakness, it's survival instinct, misfiring in a modern context. In today's hyper-connected world, we are lonelier than ever. How? Social media gives the illusion of connection without substance. Dating apps offer endless options but shallow roots. Cities bustle, but neighbors don't speak. Loneliness hides behind filters, emojis, and curated lives. We scroll, double tap, and yet feel hollow. A study in 2021 found that over 60% of young adults reported feeling serious loneliness on a weekly basis. Here's the twist. You can have thousands of followers, yet feel like no one truly knows you. Digital connection lacks presence. No eye contact, no warmth, no energy. The fear of being alone today isn't just about being without others. It's about being without meaningful others. We've confused interaction with intimacy. What does loneliness feel like? It's more than sadness. It's a tightening in the chest, a numbness. It's watching people laugh and feeling like you're behind a glass wall. Emotionally, loneliness often triggers anxiety. What if I'm unlovable? Shame. Why can't I just be happy alone? Desperation. Clinging to anything that feels like connection. Self-doubt. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Left unaddressed, loneliness breeds mental health issues, depression, substance abuse, even suicidal ideation. But here's the paradox. The more you fear being alone, the more likely you are to stay alone. Why? Because fear clouds judgment. It leads you to chase the wrong people, settle for less, and become someone you're not, just to avoid solitude. Not all loneliness is cured by company. Many people remain in toxic relationships because the fear of being alone is more unbearable than the pain of being mistreated. Emotional abuse, manipulation, neglect. They all seem preferable to silence for someone terrified of solitude. This chapter explores trauma bonds, abandonment wounds, and how childhood neglect wires us to fear aloneness. If I leave, who will I be without them? If no one's around, do I even matter? These are deep existential questions. They demand healing, not avoidance. Here's a powerful truth. Being alone isn't the same as being lonely. Solitude can be empowering, restorative, creative. Think of monks, writers, visionaries. They seek aloneness. The key difference? Loneliness is being alone and feeling unwanted. Solitude is being alone and feeling whole. How do we shift from fear to freedom? It starts with learning to enjoy your own company, to know yourself beyond the noise. This is where healing begins. The fear of being alone is not permanent, it's learned. and what is learned can be unlearned. Here are tools to begin healing. Inner child work. Reparent the part of you that feared abandonment. Mindfulness. Sit with the discomfort. Don't run from it. Gratitude. Practice. Notice the joys in solo moments. Creative expression. Use art, music, writing to process emotions. Boundaries. Learn to say no without fearing rejection. Also, practical steps. Schedule solo dates. Journal your emotions. Build a life you love so much that company becomes a bonus, not a crutch. We explore how therapy helps, including CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and somatic practices. Society glorifies extroversion and romantic love. We're sold the narrative. If you're alone, something's wrong with you. This stigma reinforces fear. It shames those who are single, introverted, or solitary. We must challenge these narratives. Being alone isn't failure, it's freedom. It's space for growth, self-love, and clarity. Let's create a culture where being by yourself isn't pitied, it's respected. In this segment, we share real anonymous testimonials from people who have faced and overcome the fear of being alone. From divorcees to young adults to widows, these stories show that healing is possible, that solitude can lead to strength, that the fear doesn't have to win. Quotes, moments, tears. This chapter humanizes the theory. Imagine a life where your own company is enough, where silence is not an enemy but a friend, where you wake up alone and feel peace, not panic. That life is possible, but it begins by facing the fear, not numbing it. In this final chapter, we invite the audience to sit in stillness, reflect, and reclaim their inner space. Maybe the fear of being alone isn't the problem. Maybe it's the story we tell ourselves when we're alone. You are your first and last companion in this life. Learn to love that person. Learn to listen to them. Learn to sit beside them when they cry, and laugh with them when joy arises. The fear of being alone fades when you realize you were never truly alone. You always had you. Let that be enough. If something in this video spoke to you, if even one sentence made you feel seen, don't leave in silence. Tap like to let us know you're here. Subscribe to join a growing community that chooses awareness, healing, and deeper understanding. And if someone you care about is struggling with loneliness, share this video. It might be exactly what they need to hear right now.